Today, we're going to explore the core program of SunX Malta, climate-friendly travel. We see this as a kind of underlying lifestyle concept that connects all parts of the future travel and tourism system. We define climate-friendly travel as tourism that is linked to Paris 1.5 and the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. Paris 1.5 being the 2050 target maximum temperature increase, which is necessary for a stable global climate and tolerable human existence on the planet. That is one of the key outcomes of the 2015 Paris Climate COP. The SDG being the Sustainable Development Goals, also agreed by the UN in 2015 as targets for 2030 for all aspects of life on the Earth. And now we are extending this to incorporate the Montreal Kunming Biodiversity Framework, agreed again through the UN processes at the end of 2022, last year. And I say UN processes because it's a kind of metaverse shorthand for hundreds of thousands of meetings which go on around the world and online over many years with debate, outcomes, and formal resolution. This biodiversity framework is integrally connected to the climate framework, and it is aligned with the 2030 SDG targets. So from here on in, we're not talking about two components of climate-friendly travel, we're talking about three. And what I want to do today is to start to lay out what I call the anatomy of the ecosystem of climate-friendly travel, its structural components. And after that, Hans and Ollie will go into detail on some of those key elements. It all starts at step one with this diploma, laying the groundwork over 2 years for each of you to become a national strong climate champion. And this year, the first year, is the learning year. Step two begins in year 2, when you will become SunX interns and focus on practical applications in your own countries, building networks and mapping out stakeholder frameworks. We will provide coaching to help you do this in a coherent fashion. And at the end of year 2, you will be strong climate champions, helping to lead national tourism transformation towards climate-friendly travel. We are planning to extend this diploma this year, starting in China, and to introduce a master's in climate-friendly travel next year, focused on destination transformation. After my lecture, Ollie will go deeper into the role of strong champions and our vision for rollout around the world, our ambitious vision for 100,000 champions by 2030, and your cover of the LDC world, the least developed countries, will be a really important step forward for our whole climate-friendly travel program. Much rests on your shoulders. Step 3 is our registry, which allows a simple entry point for any company and any community with a commitment for climate-friendly travel and a linkage to the UN Global Climate Action Portal. We have offered the registry to those organizations that created the Glasgow Declaration to use it as an already existing structural component that can help better achieve the Glasgow goal. Once companies and communities have registered, they get access to the climate-friendly travel good practice hubs with several years of curated learning data, with innovation, with analytics, and with advisory support on good practice. This will be your go-to database as strong champions to help inform and to help support national stakeholders. And this phase is also the start of the Eco Badge. We have 2 badges in the planning stage. One, which companies and communities receive at registration to show commitment, and a gold standard for a filed climate action plan for consumer transparency. Step 4 covers what we call the global phase, incorporating the global agreements on climate, sustainable development and biodiversity, as well as the annual national reports filed with the UN. This is the fundamental aspect of the program which helps lock communities, destinations, and companies into the UN system, and to review, revisit, and revamp each year. Steps 5 and 6 are shown in a different color because they are structurally different, being operated by separate for-profit entities. By their very nature, they have a commercial underpinning, and that is not easily undertaken under the broad not-for-profit base of SunX. But to be very clear, the companies in 5 and 6 are part of the overall SunX group. Step 5 is where our support programs really kick in. Climate-friendly travel services is a one-stop shop for all of our 40+ SDG 17 partners. We've created it to support cities and local communities and to give them the potential benefits which our SDG 17 partners bring to the table. Benefits such as dealing with waste and plastics, benefits which are looking at renewable energy, benefits which are looking at adaptation to climate realities. And step 6 is the other side of the equation that we are building. A club for travelers to provide rewards for carbon reduction and investment in SAF, sustainable aviation fuel. The Climate Friendly Travel Club springs from a basic concern that we have had about carbon offsets for travellers. The uncertainty of the product, even when certified, and the fact that for customers, it becomes just another add-on and the money is spent and gone forever. We felt there must be a better way for passengers to cover their carbon conscience and engage with the climate-friendly travel world. So we created a carbon compensation club with benefits in terms of rewards, rather like airline points clubs. Carbon footprints are calculated normally by travellers, but the compensation is put into a fund for blue chip SAF company investments and to advocate for SAF justice, enough supply for the 46 LDC and SIDS. Club members' compensation money is ring-fenced and translated into points to be redeemed after a short holding period, and it will deliver rewards in the form of discounts and special offers from registered climate-friendly travel companies. We think this is deliciously simple and everyone benefits. The planet and the airlines buy more SAF investment. LDC and SIDS countries buy more SAF supply. Travellers, by saving money for climate-friendly travel holidays, rather than simply burning it away on offsets. And registered companies, by promotion and more direct sales. The club will launch later this year. Finally, as if this isn't complex enough, I'm going to leave you with a slide that prepares you for the next lecture. How would this climate-friendly travel ecosystem be integrated into tourism destination development? And here you see the full roadmap that we are working on for climate-friendly travel destinations, with the process that I've covered today embedded in the broader community delivery framework. And you're going to have to wait for the next lecture for me to unpack that framework for you.